What's going on, YouTube Nation? This is Darth Dividend. I'm going to give you my Fundrise update. Usually I give Fundrise updates on Friday and Saturday, so if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. I also do videos on Fundrise, advice. I do Rich Uncles, which is another real estate crowdfunding platform. I also talk about some of the companies that I angel invest. I usually do that monthly. And I also talk about my dividend portfolio on the public sector, like stocks like Coca-Cola that I own and many other ones. So I do a stock analysis. So here's an update on Fundrise. So I just posted a video earlier today about rates that are being suspended from many notable companies and reputable companies. Now here's a hit in the private sector that just happened. This is Fundrise. So because of what's going on, they made a comment to us. So they did an analysis. So this is what their article told me. They said, we built your Fundrise portfolio to be a fortress in times of uncertainty. So really, let me just say this. This is the first time Fundrise has ever been challenged. So this is going to be a true test to see how these guys perform in the long run. This is their first challenge. These guys are kind of new. It's a real estate crowdfunding platform. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. These guys are prepared, and I think that they will do a solid job. I'm not worried with my dividends and my e-funds being suspended. I'm going to read you your article, and I'm going to tell you my honest opinion. So to follow up on last month's letter, we're sharing a detailed analysis on how we believe the pandemic will continue to evolve and the latest measures we put into place to protect our entire investor community. So this is one bullet that they said. We believe that we are still on the upward slope of the curve when it comes to spread of infections. I can't say a certain thing or else I'll get in trouble. As a result, the extent of negative impacts on the broader economy remain uncertain, and the risk of prolonged downturn is real. Our duty as investment managers is to take the hard but necessary steps to protect the interests of our investor base as a whole during the time. Let me just say something. I don't know a thing about real estate. I don't want to put the effort in it. This is why I invested in these guys. I'm letting them do their thing. That's fine if I have to pay a little fund or whatever. It's just, I don't have time. I mean, I'm looking at graduate school. I'm picking up shifts to help my fellow nurses in a rough time. I work on a critical care floor, so there's a lot of uncertainty, even if I got it or I picked up the bug that's out there. So, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of things, curveballs being thrown around. So this is important. Therefore, we suspended redemptions on our mature E-rates and E-funds in order to maximize cash reserves and ensure the portfolio is in a position of strength. Lastly, we completed an extensive stress test of every asset we hold, and we are sharing the results in order to provide transparency into why we feel confident our portfolio will outperform most other investment assets through an extended recession. Less than 30 days ago, they sent a letter out. I posted that on here of the issue that's out there. So they're just discussing how many people are skeptical about how things will change and how the lockdown. They said, we suspect that there's not a single one of our investors who has been directly impacted by this pandemic in a significant way. It's important to reiterate to a point that we often make, sharing these type of letters. That is our goal here, is transparency. This is what I like about it. These guys, we do not attempt to predict the future, nor do we believe that we are always right in our assumptions. We do, however, believe being transparent in our thinking and the resulting course of our actions is imperative. To that end, we want to walk you through the details of how we believe this situation will unfold and the critical steps it's taking result. So basically, they're just talking about the slope of what's going on, the predictions, this and that. I really don't want to talk about that. I don't want to put the risk of everything. So the big question, I'll just say this, the big question which no one knows is the domino effect with a large number of businesses that will lead to a prolonged recession or worse. At more than $21 trillion in GDP, shutting down the U.S. economy for only a few months could be a large loss in output, even if the combination is $2 trillion in the package. So basically, I want to make sure I don't get in trouble mentioning a few things. They just said we view each property that we collectively own and have invested as another brick that's been carefully laid by hand to form a secure barrier, and the dollars that we hold in reserve are stores of grain meant to ensure that our entire investor community can endure a long, harsh winter. Up until now, our singular focus has been acquiring assets we believe would outperform in times like this. At times, we've looked smart when the stock market crashed and fears of a potential recession started to surface. And the times we looked foolish, but when the stock market rallied and the prospects of endless prosperity swept across the country. So let me just let's just talk about this extensive stress test that they're discussing. All right, so here's their portfolio stress test. Under normal market conditions, we review each position of each asset in the portfolio. Given the extreme uncertainty by the issue, I'm not going to say what, we had decided to conduct an additional severe stress test analysis. So basically, let's just talk about this. So more than 82% of portfolios invested in residential assets, including rental apartments and senior loans on properties intended for residential use. We believe residential real estate is one of the most offensive asset types in this crisis, since shelter, like food, is a basic need. Our equity ownership positions in rental apartments are relatively low leverage with fixed rate loans. The average loan on these assets is approximately 60%. Portfolio of senior loans, both acquisition and construction loans, are held in balance sheet with no additional leverage and are secured by the underlying property. In virtually every case, these assets are located in urban infill locations. Properties that are either currently under development or expected to begin soon represent 12% of the portfolio and are owned without any senior debt. Commercial and mixed-use real estate makes up to 6% of the total portfolio and moderately leveraged to an average loan to value of 50 to 55%. So they just say the apartments. I really like this, the way that they post this. They just talk about their assets, the equity and ownership. See, this is the thing that I like about these guys. They're just talking about their business plan with the stabilized apartments and everything, mixed-use development, mixed-use stabilized, single-family homes, miscellaneous equity, and then real estate debt and debt-like structures. So look here, and they're talking about how all the apartments they tested and preferred structure of the apartments, senior construction bridge loans. This is a thing that I like about these guys, to be honest, with Fundrise, is they're pretty honest. I mean, look, everything's a risk. I mean, that's why you shouldn't have all your eggs in one basket. I have Fundrise in my portfolio. I'm going to, once they start their dividends back, I'm going to continue to reinvest my dividends in Fundrise. The thing that I really like, I'll say this probably 1,000 times, but the thing I really like about Fundrise is they are very honest and they don't give promises, but they show the data, which is very nice with their portfolio. And that's what I like doing. I kind of looked at Fundrise before I made a YouTube channel, and really this is what some of the things I like to discuss in my stock analysis videos on stocks that I buy or stocks that I have in my dividend portfolio, why they're good, okay? The rationale, I like to give rationales of, how it's doing against the S&P, as it is increasing its dividend. Why is it in demand? And this is kind of what Fundrise does with their portfolio and their website. So this is what, with information that's very detailed and structured, this is why people invest in Fundrise. This could be many reasons why people believe in Fundrise, and I'm one of those people that believes in this company, and I will continue to reinvest my dividends. I think these guys will come out strong. I think that them and Rich Uncles will do very well. I understand that rates are suspending dividends, and if you look at the stocks, really real estate was hit the hardest, and they took a huge blow. People were always talking about security and stuff, but you got to be prepared to have all your, to take a blow. Sometimes that can happen with the stock market and being an investor. That's a risk we take. But really, in the long run, if you're patient, you don't panic sell, you'll be fine. I mean, the majority of the time you will be fine, unless if you invest in like terrible stocks like Sears or something. But being patient, being disciplined, and sticking with your guns, and just being, a pure dividend warrior like all you guys out there, that's what it's about. It's about making passive income, and we all take risks. I have an active job. I don't think, for me, I enjoy what I do. I enjoy helping people, and I do want to become a nurse practitioner in the long run. So this will be an extra source of income. Again, my goal is to make $1,000 to $3,000 a month on my monthly dividends, and $2,000 to $4,000 a month on my quarterly dividends. If I get more ambitious, that's great, but right now that's kind of what I'm doing. I like to be realistic. I'm not loaded with money. This channel is really just to show you guys, and give you ideas and help empower you to become a very strong dividend warrior and dividend investor. So that's all I can say really with my 2 cents. My honest opinion is just hold. You're going to have to hold. Don't panic sell. Some of the stocks that I have, Delta Airlines, I put actually CCL in my M1 Finance portfolio. I know it's like $8 and stuff. And once CCL, grows on my E-Trade portfolio and comes back to normal, I probably will sell it and throw it in my M1 Finance portfolio. But honestly, you have to hold. Just leave your stocks alone. There's going to be companies that are going to suspend their dividends. I know Ford's one of them. I don't know. I'd be a little iffy on investing in Ford. They'd have to really show me something. But, just hold, leave your money there, park it, let your money make money. It will follow the drip. You understand the principles of compound interest. Let it fly, let it ride. That's all I have to say. You guys have a good weekend. I'm probably going to post a video on my M1 Finance portfolio on changes I made. Again, my goal is to make $100,000. Well, I want to make $100,000, but I want to have a $100,000 dividend portfolio, and that's going to take time. I just need to put money in, let my money make money, and then that's it. That's all you do as a dividend investor. It's not about being a gunslinger and just buying and selling stuff. No, you want dividends to have extra source of income, and that's what you're about. So, all right. Well, you guys have a good weekend. And again, make sure you wash your hands. Keep your hands away from your face. If you are sick, stay home. Make sure that you are 6 feet away from each other. We can beat this bug, and your efforts as a dividend investor will help the economy in the long run if you follow the guidelines by the CDC. So we are all in this together. We have to make sure we prevent this bug from spreading. Look into, hold on to that money. Make sure you don't panic sell. Don't hoard. Don't buy all that toilet paper out there, and just be patient. So it's going to get better. The stock market always gets better. So that's this is an Enron. This isn't the highs, and then you go low. It's going to take time. Leave it alone. All right. Thank you.